What's up, guys? This is George from Pro Play Games, and we're here with Fernando Fuentes. What did you do today, bro?
I got third place at AGP Kissimmee.
Nice.
Orlando.
Good job, man. And you earned your invite to the World Championship,
Yep.
correct?
It's not fully paid, but I got an invite, so
Nice.
that was the goal for today.
Yeah, you beat some pretty big names today. So what were you playing today?
I was playing Machina. Surprise is not R. Basically, his ability is to search, pay will to search, and you can search any colorless card. All the cards in the deck are colorless, except for the mana producing cards. So yeah, he's just really consistent, and I liked a consistent deck in this format. That's like the mana bases are a little wonky, and this deck can play just 10 basic stones, all green. So
Okay. You want to go by the deck?
So the most broken card I think enforceable right now is this guy right here, remote control beast. You can play him for free, or one or two in almost like every game state that you set up, and he's an 8/8. He can be given haste with cards we're gonna look at later. So he's just overall one of the most aggressive cards in the deck and in the game, and yeah, he's awesome.
Okay.
The second most important card in the deck, and the reason why you play the deck in general, is much of the machines. Basically, you give all your guys haste and a power boost, and that's how you kill your opponent. And if you draw it in multiples, it's almost like unbeatable. So that's basically the reason why you play the colorless deck to begin with. What the cards that you use to give haste to and kill your opponent earlier in the game is just a set of 1-drops, and yeah, they're literally just 1 mana 3/3s, and you put them on board. This does the rest, and they're pretty much vanilla. Besides that, he can be good in grind matchups because he can buff himself, kills several different things, but for the most part they're only there because they're names and they go with this. A card that really ties the whole deck together, that I feel gives it even more consistency, is basically Dark Machina. He's a 3 mana version to get this or this, and they're the two most important cards in the deck. So basically 3 mana to search him, or 3 mana to get your main win con. So he glues the deck up together, and he's good when you have to J-activate in certain situations, so he's there. For the more grindier, fair matchups, you play the Mechanical City. It gives +2/+2 to all your machines, and basically you just start winning combats with it against the red decks, the green aggro decks. When you have 1 on board, your cards start mattering a little bit more. When you have 2 to 3 on board, your opponent starts thinking like, wow, a 1 mana 7/7, that's kind of crazy. So I play 3, 4 can be a brick. So let's go to just more names. There weren't any more good 1-drops, so I just play him. He's basically a 2-drop version of these guys, and he assists the combo because if he dies in the OTK turn, the card that comes out of him is still buffed by the march, so you can, even if your opponent has removal and stuff, you can still continue your combo. To wrap everything up, there weren't any more 2-drop colorless, so you just play 2 of the 3-drop. He can net you a total of 3 attacks the turn that you go off with March. So overall, he's just a decent card, and there's really nothing else that can be put in to replace it. To get into the reason why we play green, basically the speed of the deck. Without these guys, you can only win on turn 4, maybe turn 5 most of the time. But when you draw them, even one of them can accelerate you incredibly. And if you draw multiples, it's really hard for your opponent to stop. So they just make mana. The reason why it doesn't matter if it's colorless mana is because the search ability and the playing, they all cost colorless wool, so it doesn't conflict with you. The last green card in the deck is Wall of Wind. It's just really good when you win the die roll. It can save you in some situations if your opponent plays into it. If they have no choice, you can retain advantage. If you go second, you can take back the momentum of the game. And it's overall just a good card. And the last card in the deck is the Red Regalia Levitine. there's very few games that you J-activate to win in this deck because the main win condition is the 1-drops. But against heavy control decks, they really don't have an answer to your 8/8 ruler. So, why not give him haste, and it combos off with the 2 and the 3 mana that can sacrifice, get more guys, and it just pushes for damage basically. So it's only a 1 of there when you draw it. We can move to the sideboard now. Basically, the sideboard was just for anything that might come up. I didn't really know what the floor was going to be today, so I just played the best cards that weren't in the main deck, just got relegated to the sideboard. So, against ultra heavy control, you play 2 of these because you can just loop your entire deck over and over and over, and no amount of grind deck in the game can survive 1, let alone the second one. So they're just there, and they don't really lose to Hera, so you don't really care about putting another Regali in your deck. The 4th one of this, in the matchups that is bad, it's really bad. In the matchups that is good, it's the best card in the deck, so I just wanted to have a 4th one in the sideboard just in case. Versus decks that have hyper board wipes against you, you sided him in, and you make your main game plan to J-activate. And while they're dealing with, the little mana dorks, maybe they kill a 1-drop or 2 here and there, you make them think that you don't have any other way to win the game, and then boom, 2 to 3 of these come on board, and you just take over the game from there. So he's really good to change your plan. Another game-breaking card versus all removal type decks, and even sometimes in the red matchup against Lancelot, this is your saving grace. It doesn't conflict with the deck because it's green, it draws you a card, so it doesn't slow you down. And the turn that you're going off, if you have 1 or 2 of these, your opponent has even less outs than they did before. And in the same way, there's some matchup where J-activating is too slow, so you can't bring this guy in. And they have board wipes, so you really have to win with the 1 mana cards. So your best shot is to just counter the board wipe that they use against you. Most of the time, it works on the play. If you get a lucky break, it can work on the draw, but for the most part, it's the best counterspell that we have available to us in mono green, and it's good against the board wipes. So everything is just there.
Right, cool. Well, congrats again. Here's your prize card that he won, Bronze Valentina. Congrats again, man. You did a great job this weekend. You beat some pretty big names, and you performed fantastically again at your 2nd AGP. So. Can't wait to see what you guys do in the future, and hopefully we see you compete at the World Championship along with Tony in the background. Hey, Tony, going to Worlds. But yeah, thank you guys, and great job.
Thank you.